Today's video, we're going to talk about two filters that are probably ignored on your Prevost, and they shouldn't be. It seems on pretty much every vehicle you've got filters that people don't like to change, and that would be pretty much all of them. Most people don't really enjoy routine maintenance, but it is important, and it helps to make sure that you don't have bigger problems going down the road. I wasn't even going to do a video on this, but today I was changing the two filters on my Prevost related to the air system. Not the air filter for the engine, but for the air system that is used for the suspension, the slides, a whole bunch of other things. The first one is this desiccant cartridge. And any vehicle that has an air system is going to have some kind of an air dryer with a desiccant cartridge. This is basically this is the filter that ends up filtering some junk out and also dries the air. And this is what mine looked like. This bus is a 2001, so at this point it's 23 years old, has a bit over 100,000 miles on it. And the Prevost interval is to change this every 100,000 miles. But this has been ugly for a while now, and that probably has more to do with the 23-year-old aspect. This is almost certainly original. I would not want to be breathing air that comes out of this, and I don't think that you do either. So your air system also certainly doesn't. So this is actually a really simple one to change. It's just a spin-on cartridge, just like any oil filter, or most oil filters rather. And on my bus, it's located on the driver's side, just forward of the drive axle. I'll go back in a minute and I'll show you where it is. Now up here at the front of the bus, this is the door that's just on next to the driver's seat that has a whole bunch of access to electrical circuitry and things like that. And then right here is the accessory air filter. So this is not an air filter that goes before the air pump on the engine. This is up here up front for all of the accessory air that goes to feed all of the various little accessories that are air powered. This is super easy to get off. You've just got this little part on the bottom. It's about 1/8 of a turn to loosen it. You got the little markings on it for which way is lock and which way is unlock. Normally, you should be draining this anyway, just by opening the valve on the bottom when there's air pressure, and it's going to then get any oil that's out in there. And this one was not so bad. I'll show you the filter. This one doesn't look nearly as bad as the cartridge I just showed you, but if you look carefully, you can see what looks to be some discoloration, probably from moisture on there. And the new one looks a whole lot cleaner. So we're going to put that on, put that back in. But one thing I also want to point out to you is that I bought the filter for this from Prevost, but it does not come with the O-ring that goes on here to seal it. So I'm going to add this to my list of things to change. Not a big deal because, like I said, it's super simple to get this thing off. But this is also a 23-year-old O-ring, and it could very well be a source of air leakage. I do notice on my bus that the accessory air system bleeds down quicker than everything else. So that's going to be one of the things on my list to change. And if you're going to order this filter, you may as well change it yourself. Very simple. Goes on. And you got part on the bottom that goes on. Obviously I took this all apart so you can't see that, but just hand tighten it. Doesn't need to be anything super special. Goes back on here, tightened. That's on there. And then for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this thing back on, but like I said, I'm going to make a point of ordering this O-ring the next time I make an order of parts from Prevost, which will probably be in not too long. And there you go. That went on so easily that I'm going to bet you that that O-ring is leaking. Now let me just show you real quick where the air dryer is on my Prevost. Note that this same sort of thing is going to apply to any bus. You want to replace these filters. My previous RV did not have a separate accessory air filter, but it did not have a separate accessory air system. Okay, I'm under the bus here and I just want to orient you. So those are the driver's side drive axle wheels. So this direction is forward, again on the driver's side. And then right there is the air dryer housing where the desiccant cartridge goes on. So what you see here is not what it looked like when I took the filter off. I've got a little bit more cleaning that I want to do on this. Get it as clean as you can, when you take off your old cartridge and put the new one on, because ultimately this air is what's going through the rest of your accessories in the air system. When you get contamination in your air system, you can suffer from leaks, things just not working properly, and ultimately it can also damage some other components that have to get replaced that otherwise might last a lot longer. So a little piece of preventative maintenance goes a long way. So now I'll just put the cartridge back on. First, the little O-ring goes on over here. On the inner side. Harder to do this one-handed, but there it goes. And then just like with any other screw-on filter, you just get it to a good hand tight, and there you have it. So if you haven't done this before, it's really not that hard. The only thing I'll say is that if your air dryer is in a similar location to where mine is, make sure that you have your bus jacked up safely before you get under here, or it is very much in a position where it can crush you. I have another video on how to jack up your bus safely. I'll put a link to that one. So thanks for watching. Leave any questions down below, and if you haven't done these items on your bus, go do them.